All right, let's take it from the top. Breaking news. We have a false flag alert as unidentified drones just fly over the homes of Marco Rubio, Pete Hegseth. The Pentagon, word out in the street, is just very powerless to stop this. Are you buying this? And the Pentagon, oh my God, drones! We don't know where they came from. We don't know it. Seriously? Are you JKing me? Oh, come on, man. False flag incoming. They're getting ready for a drone something. Oh, a massive. Far worse than 9/11. Don't forget, alien invasion is pending. That's on the table. The deletion, or so-called deletion, of Trump is another thing that's on the table. They're going to try to hit us every way they can. Any which way but loose. So much so that your head will be spinning. What are you going to believe? Just like the so-called Iran war. Are we winning the Iran war? Or is Iran winning? Because I'm getting conflicting reports. You don't even know what to believe anymore. If you're new to the channel, I'm wearing these blue light blocking glasses, and I have to wear reading glasses. Yeah, it's come to that point. Instead of squinting and enlarging the screen, so here we go. Let's dig in here, okay? And none of this shit that's going on is normal. There's so much nonsense that's going on every day. I've never seen anything like this in my life until the Scamdemic. When the Scamdemic hit, everything else was just accelerating. Weird shit in the skies all over the place. People reporting. Even now, I could cover a video that's out there of people seeing what looks like a meteor, but it's not a meteor, and it's like doing circles in the sky, and it's just roaming around in the sky. Not what typical so-called meteors put that in quotes do. I mean, there's a lot of that stuff, strange phenomenon videos out there, but I just never seen so much bizarro shit ever since, like, I would say 2020. Maybe before then, a little bit more with the chemtrails, but it's just accelerating. The sheer lunacy is accelerating. So they're saying, in the news, that drones, some of them possibly from foreign-made Shahed-type platforms, I don't know, they're going to try to blame it on Iran, are flying over or near sensitive locations tied to high-level government officials or figures like Marco Rubio and Pete Hegseth. And according to Pete Hegseth, the all-powerful and maximally lethal Department of War is essentially shrugging its shoulders. The all-powerful and maximally lethal Department of War is shrugging its shoulders and unable to do anything about it. You believe that? Are you JK me? Listen, they could stop whatever it is wrong with this country. They could fix in a nanosecond. If they want to get rid of the sleeper cells, they can't. They will let in. If they want to get rid of drugs, they can. They're being let in. The invaders, they could get rid of it, but they will let in. Everything's being done on purpose, and they could fix everything. They could all this shit. None of this shit would be a thing. It's being allowed, okay? So to say that the Department of War just doesn't know where this came from, it's like 9/11. Oh my God, we allow planes to come hit the Twin Towers? No. That was an inside job. All done on purpose, okay? All right? You know that. You all know this, but I just want to say that if there's any normies out there or trolls, this is the same government that literally can track a heat signature halfway across the world. The same system, the same government that can lock onto a moving target from so-called space. This is the same military that spends hundreds of billions of dollars annually on air defense, radar, intelligence, surveillance, reconnaissance. Suddenly they can't identify or stop a handful of slow-moving drones over domestic airspace. Are you buying any of this shit? Remember the damn, what was it? The Chinese balloons under Biden, Beijing Biden? Remember that? Was it Chinese balloons? How is that even a thing? How does that happen? But yet they were allowed to, from what I remember, the Chinese balloons were allowed to float around all around the United States, different areas. Nothing the government could do about it, but yet they could crawl up your ass with a fucking microscope. They have technology that we can't even fathom. They're 50 to 80 to 100 years ahead of us in technology. The technology that we get, like so-called 5G, That is old hat technology. Extremely old hat. It's old. They give us crumbs. Whenever they release some technology to us, it's crumbs because they're leaps and bounds ahead of us. But yet, for some strange reason, they can't stop a friggin' damn Chinese satelloons. They can't friggin' damn figure out how to stop these bullshit drones. They're setting it up again. They're trying to set this shit up. We gotta get ahead of the curve here. We gotta get ahead of this narrative. Remember the Jersey drones? Oh my God, we just don't know where the Jersey drones under Biden and shit. Was that Biden? It doesn't even matter because it happens. Shit's happening. It doesn't matter who's in charge, so-called in charge. But anyway, and now we got this Iran nonsense. So what is they're saying? We don't know. We just don't know about the drones. Oh my God, they're ringing their NWO hands. I just can't. We just don't know. We don't know how to stop. Translation: when the time comes where the drone attack happens, they'll know then, won't they? They'll know then. They'll say, oh, they'll probably have a friggin' damn. They'll probably have a damn. Like you see on The Price is Right, the wheel, different categories on it, whatever. Spin the wheel. Okay, is it China, Russia, or what would it be? China, Russia, our so-called enemies. Iran. Let's toss North Korea in there and a couple other countries and spin the wheel. Cuba, Venezuela. This is what they do behind the scenes in their meeting in the boardroom. Whatever it lands on, they're going to tell the public, oh yeah, it's this country over here. It's going to be Iran, probably. It's got to be Iran. They're going to say Iran with the drones when the time comes for the massive false flag. But right now, they're acting like they just don't know what the fook or who the fook these drones are from. They're just like, are you serious? Get the fook out of here. This is from the Washington Post. The military is monitoring potential threats more closely because of the heightened alert level as the U.S. and Israel strike Iran, according to a senior administration official who spoke on the condition of anonymity. He was anonymous. To discuss sensitive security matters. Multiple drones were spotted over Fort Leslie J. McNair on a single night in the last 10 days, the official said, prompting increased security. This wouldn't be. Come on. There's no way with all the technology that this is going to be some kind of foreign entity doing this on our soil. There's just no way. There's no way, all right? I'm not even going to read the rest. Drone sightings in Washington come as the U.S. issued a global security alert for overseas. So now we got drone sightings in D.C. Let me ask you something. Do you think the drones are going to hit the White House? You think drones... Because, there's a lot of talk out there in the truth community. I put in quotes because sometimes maybe it's not true. I don't know. And what's called our community. People that are trying to figure this shit out and call BS on this and that. Whatever. The truth community, as they say. Do you think that these drones are going to get... It says right here, the drone sightings in Washington come as U.S. issued a global security alert. They're not talking about Washington State, I don't think. They're talking about D.C. Do you think the drones will do a drone thing or maybe some AI thing to make it look like the White House got hit and they took Trump out? I mean, I'm just asking for a friend. But let's take a look at this video because they're priming the pump. They're getting us ready for a fucking massive false flag. A massive one. And, they're not going to stop with all this nonsense because, and a lot of the reason why is, I mean, it means some people were talking about this at the gym. Yeah, we're patriots. People that actually voted for Trump. We were talking to each other about this, and I said to this guy, he voted for him. Don't get triggered, bitch. It's just a thing. It happened, all right. But I said to him, I said, hey, do you think that all this shit with Iran, all this stuff and drones, do you think this is all a distraction because of Epstein files? I mean, he was like, could be. I think it is. The timing is too coincidental. But ultimately, I guess all the stuff had to go down at some point, right? Because we're in the last days. And there has to be World War III, right? Albert Pike thing. Let's take a look at this this nifty video on these drones.
Amid the escalating conflict in the Middle East, U.S. officials have reported the sighting of unidentified drones over a military base in Washington. This base is where Secretary
maybe it is Washington State. I took it as Washington, D.C., but whatever.
of State Marco Rubio and Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth reside. The information comes from 3 individuals who were briefed on the matter, as reported by the Wall Street Journal. The military is keeping a closer watch on potential threats due to heightened alert levels as the United States and Israel carry out strikes on Iran. Drones were spotted over Fort McNair recently, leading to increased security and a White House meeting to discuss the response. The sightings in Washington come as the U.S. issued a global security alert for its diplomatic posts abroad and tightened security at several bases at home due to threats.
This is a very critical time for us to continue the fight against terrorism. I would like to say that, hey, we have accomplished our mission and terrorism is kind of fading into the rearview mirror. I know a lot in our national security establishment, and I know a lot of people in America are sick and tired of us talking about terrorism and the threat that terrorists face to our country and pose to our country. However, the fight continues. And as a matter of fact, I think the fight,
Fight my ass. I've been talking about fucking terrorism for decades, man. All this shit could be eradicated if they really wanted to. Alright? I'm tired of this. This guy even... It just looks like a friggin' actor.
Threat posed by terrorists is even worse than it ever has been in years previous to this. For the last 4 years, we've had a wide open southern border thanks to the policies of the Biden administration.
Well, that's true right there. That's true right there. Now, that's facts.com, truth.edu, but again, that was allowed. Everything's
that
been allowed.
let in countless terrorists from newly designated foreign cartels and also from violent gangs that have gone so far as taking over entire apartment complexes inside the United States. This is a direct result of the wide open southern border policy that Joe Biden had. And President Trump is committed to identifying these cartels and these violent gang members and making sure that we locate them and we get them out of our country. We deport them by any means necessary. And I'm honored to support his quest to do that, to secure our country once more. We also have massive terror.
Can we get rid of all the libtards too? And these fucking commie libtards? Can we get rid of all the rhinos? Huh? Can we get rid of all the POSs in this country that hate our country? Can we get rid of the, all those, the ones that want to put Sharia law, enact Sharia law in our country? Can we get rid of them? Can we get rid of any anti-POS American piece of shit? Right? I'm just sick of this. We need. I've been saying this for now, I don't know, over half a decade. We need a damn exorcism of all these demons.
Threats coming from overseas, and a lot of this is due to the debacles of the Biden administration. The withdrawal from Afghanistan was catastrophic. It was a horrible way to end one of our nation's longest conflicts. However, it has given a terrorist sanctuary to ISIS and to several other terrorist groups right now that are exploiting that ungoverned space and the leadership of the Taliban. We also had the Biden administration's horrible debacle where they brought tens of thousands of unvetted Afghans into the United States of America. Now, NCTC has done their job, and they've identified over 1,400 of these Afghans as having ties to ISIS and to other terrorist groups, yet Biden let them into the interior of the United States. Same thing with a bunch of...
he didn't just let them in, he flew them in. They were flown in over the border.
ISIS-affiliated Tajiks and Uzbeks who came into the United States of America as well. There's around 600 of them that were also identified by NCTC that are here in America right now because the Biden administration has allowed them to stay inside of our country. Locating these Afghans, locating these Tajiks, Uzbeks, and anyone else who's come into our country who has any ties to any foreign terrorist organization will be one of my top priorities so that we can locate them and we can get them out of our nation to keep our country safe. Another major challenge that we have that I'm honored to support President Trump's prioritization of is actually securing our border. NCTC plays a vital role in screening and vetting anyone who seeks to come into our country and maintaining that database and being able to look into the IC's data and being able to look into local law enforcement data to make sure that we connect all the dots and we don't let any known or suspected terrorists into our country. This is something that the president takes very seriously, and I look forward to supporting him in securing our country and making sure no more terrorists come into the United States of America. The third main line of effort that we have in NCTC, and I think as a counter-terrorist enterprise in general, is we have got to be proactive against the terrorist threats that are emanating from overseas. I already talked about Afghanistan. We have a major terrorist sanctuary there. Due to the failed regime change policies in Syria, we now have an al-Qaeda affiliate that is being paraded around as the representative of the Syrian government that is actually being led by a former member of...
Okay, so terrorists are in, have been let in, and now we're going to try to do everything we can to get them out. But, you know, probably in the end, we're not going to be able to get them out. So somehow they're going to strike from within, and there you go. There you go. So what it is they're conditioning us for all things drones. So when they do the false flag, we're like, oh yeah, well, they couldn't figure it out. They didn't know who it was. Now they're saying it's Iran. Well, we need to really, really be in support of the war. Blah, 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 blah. And then you got this. Let me get my reading glasses on. Then you got this. Section 3024 exposed. What is that? Well, it gives the government a license to just experiment on us without our consent. Well, they've been... they don't need any Section 3024 to do that. They've been doing that for how long? Fluoride in the water. What was it? Was it San Francisco back in the 50s? They did some kind of like spraying bacteria on the coast over there to see how the people are going to get sick and all that shit. Tuskegee. What about chemtrails spraying us like bugs? I mean GMOs, crap that they put in all these chemicals in our food. What about 2020 and the Scamdemic? There are no such thing as viruses, but yet, take your jibby jabs, or you can't fly. You can't go see little Johnny. You can't go see Grandma in the hotel, the old folks' home. You know all that tyranny shit. They've been experimenting on us for a long time. But let's take a listen to this. It's very important. Section 3024 exposed. What is that?
In 2016, under the 21st Century Cures Act, hidden in that, this was marketed to us by President Obama as a way to fight the opioid epidemic crisis in the United States. But hidden in there was a section called 3024. And in section 3024, it specifically says that it is legal to experiment non-consensually on U.S. citizens without consent, as long as it doesn't exceed a normal risk criteria.
But a car wreck's a risk. It means anything.
Correct, yeah. So the question goes is, what is normal everyday risk? Do people die every day? And the question to that would be yes. The other problem with this law is that it is protected by national security type protocols. So if you're being experimented on, that data cannot be released even if you did a FOIA request.
There you go. So experimenting on without our consent, but we already knew that. Just wanted to, you know. Now, getting back to left coast, the threat of war and other things. Let's take a look at this, shall we? Listen to this, and I wouldn't put it past us. There are people out there. It's weird. There are people out there who are who are either in the military or ex-military. They're retired or whatever. They were in the military or maybe are, but these military-minded people, they're like, why would the government do such a thing? No, it's Iran. I know. Is it Russian accent I'm doing? Hey, why would America? Why would America's government, why would they lie to us? Why would they say Iran? I was over there in Iran. Iran's really bad. They're really bad. Maybe they are. I'm not saying they're not. But, yeah, they're bad. All right, the government right there is shitty as all get out. People don't like the government. But, all right, that aside, our own has been infiltrated. A lot of bad apples here. A lot of bad apples here. But that's not what these military-minded people think, the ones that have been in the military. They're so brainwashed into thinking that the foreign man in the foreign land's bad. They don't see, what is it? Get the plank out of your own eye before you blah, 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 or let he who's without sin cast first stone. I mean, they don't see how corrupt it is here. Here. Banana Republic America. Here. Overran. With retards, criminals, corruption, New World Order POSs, however you want to phrase it. Overran. Saturated. All these demons in their own country. We needed an exorcism, right? But they don't see that. They think it's just them over there. No, sir. No, ma'am. We got our own problemos aquí, man. Demons are here, man. So let's roll with this. Iranian Secretary, or Security, I should say. Sorry about that. Iranian Security Council Secretary. So I had that part right, the Secretary. So we got this guy. His name is Ali Larijani. I'm probably butchering the Iranian name. He was an Iranian Security Council Secretary shortly before his assassination, warned that the U.S. was planning a September 11th level provocation in order to free its hands and break Iran with a nuclear strike. Now, I know nukes don't exist according to BitChute, and I wouldn't doubt it. I've been lied to on so many things, but just think about that. A 9/11 level provocation or attack on our, and I just got done talking about the drones and all that, but it could be something else. Right here in America, planned by the United States. Boy, does that sound familiar. Right? A 9/11 level provocation or attack from our own government. But they'll blame Iran. And then all the Americans, including the libtards, they're like, oh, we gotta get rid of them. We gotta get rid of them. We're tired of them. It's 40 years of this shit. God help us. According to Russian military expert, I'm going to butcher this name, Konstantin Sivkov. Konstantin Sivkov? Russian military expert? Okay. Well, Konstantin Sivkov, Russian military expert, said he believes that it is too early to deny the scenario of a nuclear attack on Iran. This is what Russian military expert Konstantin Sivkov had to say. Quote, prolonging the war. This is creating huge problems. No, I can do Russian accent. I can do Russian accent now. According to Russian military expert Konstantin Sivkov, it is just prolonging the war, is creating huge problems with the economy in the world. Trump's rating is falling. Trump needs to end the war as quickly as possible and get out of this conflict. And Trump has two options. Either try to get Iran to surrender through Russia and the United States to save face, or proceed the use of tactical nuclear weapons. Did I use a V on that? So either Iran has two options. Either try to get we try to get Iran to surrender through, I guess, negotiations with Russia and the US and somehow save face, or just get obliterated by tactical nukes. According to Russian military, it's something big is about that. Do you think Iran's really going to do that? Save face and surrender? An article was published in the Tehran Times on June 25th of last year, 2025, about a false flag event. Get a load of this. Iran warns a false flag event by Israel in Washington. By Israel. So is Israel going to, is America going to allow Israel to attack America in D.C.? And would that involve the deletion of Trump? An article was, I could show you this, but I'm not. It was in the Tehran Times. I'm trying to save time on different topics. An article was published in the Tehran Times on June 25th of last year about a false flag event. This was the headline. Iran warns of false flag by Israel in Washington. Okay? Then, let's see. Oh my God. Don't shoot the messenger. That's what I'm seeing here. On October 16, 2014, the next attack on the United States will be something far... This is from 2014. This is what they were saying in 2014. October 16, 2014. This is 12 years ago. This is what they were saying. 12 years ago. The next attack on the U.S. will be something far more deadlier than 9/11. This is what Dick Cheney, the former vice president, said. In almost a 2-hour interview, Cheney said this and more. Cheney warned that the next terrorist attack on U.S. will be far worse than 9/11. Quote, so we're in a very dangerous period. I think it's more threatening than the period before 9/11. This is what Dick Cheney had to say. He also said he thinks that 9/11 will turn out to be not nearly as bad as the next mass casualty attack against the United States. What did he know? What do you know? This is back in 2014. Dick Cheney says, we're going to have another massive event far worse than 9/11. He said, against the U.S., which if and when it comes will be something far more deadlier than airline tickets and box cutters. All this is planned, all this is in the making, a mass casualty event, a Deagle.com depopulation projecting event that didn't happen in 2025 could possibly happen in 2026. Or maybe 2027, but it's something wicked this way comes. How about that? Huh? How about that? Now, he also, Dick Cheney, back in 2014, predicted an epic U.S. attack in the Middle East. Way back then. Now, on March... listen to this. Investigative journalist Seymour Hersh in 2008 said Dick Cheney's office, way back when, considered doing a false flag operation designed to provoke a war with Iran. Way back then, they were considering doing a false flag operation to start a war with Iran. Way back then. What's happening now? Although public sentiment is by and large against the Iranian war, but all it takes is one of these drone attacks right here. I mean, they're already trying to get us acclimated to drones everywhere being mischievous, threatening, ominous. So the pump is being primed. All right, let me read through this. March 4th, 2026. Quote, the Zionist regime will undoubtedly seek to exploit the situation to expand the scope of fire and carry out acts of sabotage in regional countries to transform the war, into a widespread regional conflict. Iranian Foreign Ministry spokesman Esmail Baghali, or whatever, said to journalists on Tuesday. So you got Iranian Foreign Ministry spokesperson blaming it on Israel, saying that they're going to Israel's looking to expand this total shit. And Greater Israel, blah, 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 right? And Larry Johnson made a prediction on March 13th that Iran will announce that they have nuclear weapons in 2 months. Let me repeat that. Did that even happen? March 13th passed already. Did that even happen? And who's Larry Johnson? And Larry Johnson made it, whatever. All right, so basically they're trying to say that, or they are saying that A pending disastrous event is to happen by May of 2026. It's going to be on the West Coast, a mass casualty event based on some source. Is being very vague. The FBI is already spreading the false flag narrative that Iran will fly a drone attacking the West Coast and mentions the state of California. The West Coast involves more states than just California, as you already know, Oregon and Washington. But listen, all right, they're saying that California is going to get hit, and any other places on the left coast. Massive drone attack. I've covered this a lot. I'll give you the source. It's called Battle for the World. If you've listened this long, Battle for the World. That's the news site or whatever. Counter forces fighting against the ruling elite cabal, one world order empire. Battle for the World. If you've been listening this far, you could look this shit up yourself. It's not just me that's making videos about this. There's quite a few other channels talking about massive drone attack, a false flag event to be blamed on Iran. And if that wasn't enough, y'all, the WHO, World Ill Health Organization, those bastards have the audacity to still be around. Imagine that. All the shit that they pulled off in 2020 with the Scamdemic, where they're gearing up for another one. The WHO is convening in a worldwide or global session to dictate how the coming influenza scamdemic, I'm saying that, they're saying pandemic, will be run. I guess they're trying to go like, well, this didn't go right, that didn't go right, so let's make some adjustments for the next bullshit, no such thing as a virus, total control tyranny, medical tyranny, scamdemic. Is that right? Who? Is that right? The WHO, Doctor Who, really? The WHO, or the World, they call it the Health Organization. I say ill health because there's nothing healthy about all these fucking demons. Damn it. The World Health Organization will convene an online international panoramic control session they're calling it. Of course, that's all this is about. They've already done this on Wednesday, March 18th, centered on the unelected globalist group's pandemic influenza preparedness, or in short, PIP, pandemic influenza preparedness, or PIP framework. Pandemic influenza preparedness framework. What's influencing you to be sick? So I just want to toss it out there. I'm going to leave it at that because it's extremely late, but that's from InfoWars, and they're gonna try whatever they can, man. They want outright total control, outright depopulation. It's a win-win for them. If they can control the masses, big thumbs up, they win. If they could depopulate and control what's left, big thumbs up, they win. They got bunkers underground. They got all kinds of shit ready. What kind of New World Order spaghetti strand is going to stick to make this fucking thing work for them? The depopulation, total control. I could go in depth, but I don't want to. It's InfoWars. You can look that up. Is it going to be aliens next? Is it going to be a fake pandemic? I don't know. Maybe Lou Ferrigno's. Don't be a troll out there. It's unbelievable where we're at.